What's going on, y'all? Thanks for tuning back for another video. We're going to be working on the Integra. I know it's been a few days since I've actually done an update for the HDay prep, and I haven't really been posting much on Instagram either for it, but I just want to do like a quick overview of what we've been doing so far. So this is pretty much like the third time that I've redone the passenger side looms and everything for the battery. The first time I did it with a whole bunch of stuff not loomed, and I had it running through the inside of the frame on the side. So I had it running inside of there, and I really didn't like it. And the second time I loomed everything, and then I had to redo it because looking at NHRA's rules again, I need a cutoff switch, which I was able to put it in. I'll show you that in 1 second. And then come to find out afterwards, my battery started going bad. So this is the old Optima yellow top. It's good enough to just show you like the electronics working and whatnot, but it won't actually start the car. And once it starts up by being drum started, it runs perfectly. Turn it off, you go to turn it on again, it just clicks. So that battery's dead. And we actually are going to get another one in just a little bit. And yeah, I'm gonna zoom in real quick on the inside. So right here you can see, it focuses, you can see lit up my arc panel. And then if I cut off the main power in the rear, it goes out, put it back, turns back on. And that's just using this right here, a simple cutoff switch. So it interrupts the main power that's to the battery by having two large wires run to the back. I have them next to the brake lights and running lights wiring. And I still have to clean up this on the inside a little bit. This is just basically to make sure it all functions as it should. So I've got this going to, I couldn't find a junction box that was local, and I didn't want to wait 2 weeks for shipping for one online. So I kind of made my own. I have a DeWalt box with inside, it's got the old battery terminals that had all the ability to bridge stuff together. I have it secured onto there so it's nice and tight. And then two self-tapping screws right there, so the box is really tight. You can close that and use this little locking mechanism, and it can't open up, which I'm pretty proud of it. It's like a DIY thing that I made. Then I have from one of the wires going there to then having another one go to the main, or to all the electronic components that it's needed. And then this goes to the switch. Then the other one goes up through here. It goes directly to the battery. So off of the switch, I can turn off my fuel, my electronics for the ECU, all the accessories and everything. And then right off of the battery itself, I only have two wires, so it's gonna have the main power to the switch and then constant power to the starter, which I was reading up online. I don't need to have the starter off of a switch as long as I have the arc panel controlling the ECU and all the interior components, which controls the momentary switch that triggers the starter to turn on. I should be more than good with that. The only thing about the new battery that I've got, this is a 51R model, which is the Honda version that has the positive terminal on the correct side for the OEM placement. The replacement one that I got is also a yellow top Optima, but it's not the R, it's just a regular 51. So the size component of it will be perfect, but the terminals are, instead of on the back of the battery, it's towards the front. So I have it in my truck right now. Huge thank you to Zach for hooking me up with the battery. He works over at Advanced Auto Parts in Daytona Beach. He said I could have the battery. He found one at like super cheap. It was a little bit of an older model, but it's still a brand new battery. And he said I could have this at $40 for an Optima yellow top, which online new was like 280. It's crazy, or 230. So he said the one condition was that I have to put a Volkswagen sticker onto the car. So, you know, I'm a man of my word, so he's gonna bring by a sticker later, and we're actually gonna put a sticker of a Volkswagen symbol on the back, probably on the carbon fiber, so you can't really see it. But here's the battery. Get this out of the way. It's a brand new one. So like I was saying earlier, the positive terminal on my battery that I have on the car right now, the positive and negative are both placed right here instead of being placed over here. So my wiring has enough slack to go forward about 2 inches. That's not a big deal. And what I love about the Optima is they're not only a dry cell, so you can put them anywhere and in any like tilted or not tilted, but they also have like this plastic at the bottom, which is how I have it mounted now. I just drill holes through it and then drilled holes through the weight plate and have it mounted directly holding on to the weight plate, so it's firmly bolted. Online on the NHRA rules, it was saying that I need 2 bolts at least to hold a battery secure and firm, and obviously using 2 or 4 bolts since I can do it on the back as well, it's going to be more than secure, just like the one that I already have on the car is secure. This is 450 cold cranking amps rated, and when we tested it at advanced at 12.1 volts, which was what it was sitting with, it was putting out 658, I think, cold cranking amps. So the battery is definitely in great condition, and we're super happy about that. So that's just a couple more things that we were able to cross off of the HDay prep. I'm gonna take this over inside right now. The SB tuning banner on my truck. I love this thing. Toyota Tundra 4.7, super reliable, great AC. Absolutely love it. Still got my CRV right there. So yeah, we have the cutoff switch. We've got the brand new battery. If you follow my Instagram, you saw that I already have the scatter shield for it. I have to put it on because that's also one of the requirements for the 1050 class I'll be racing at HDay. And belly pan is the next thing that I need. For those of you who have me on Facebook, I think I posted on Instagram about it as well, that I'm looking for a belly pan, or I was looking for it. I actually got in contact with a few people who have really been helping me out with it, and I think that we're gonna basically fabricate our own, since I don't want to order one online and have any issues with it not coming in on time. I just want to have the car already prepped and 100% sure that everything's going to be good for a HDay. I don't want to have any last minute issues or last minute hiccups. Whew, I'm kind of out of breath, I don't know. So yeah, the belly pan should be situated in the next week. The scatter shield has to go on. The side skirts, I don't think I've showed you guys. I've showed you on Instagram, but I haven't showed you on YouTube the finished product. In the last video or 2 videos ago, we painted them flat black. Really didn't like the look of them on the car being flat black, so this is just some off-the-shelf red that I got at the store. It's not exactly Milano red, but since the paint is already faded, obviously, and we aren't going to paint the car until I do a 3-piece front end, it'll basically match. It's just another shade of red, and it's not too off anyways. I'm going to put this off. For an off-the-shelf paint, it matches the faded red very well. So I'm super happy with that. I just got to run to the store, get some hardware for the mounting tabs that I can start mounting it onto the car, and that'll be another thing off the checklist. Although that's not a necessary component for HDay, I think it would be appropriate to have the new pieces onto the car of all the parts that I have. Then for the slicks, I have had a couple pictures of the M&H tire on the VMS, of the VMS wheel and everything. I took a couple pictures of the car, but I haven't actually done a pass or driven with the car like that. And there's a few things now that I was rolling it in my driveway with the slicks on that I noticed. This is at like 25 pounds, just so it can sit for today and have some mock-up of clearance and everything. If you see right here, there's no cut into tire, or very little. And then as we get over here, there's a little bit more cut into tire. Obviously, it's well within the wear bars, so there's no damage or risk of it going into the actual tube of the tire or where the air sits in the tire, so I'm not worried about that. But this is from what used to be the lip here in the fender well. I was giving it a little bit too much turning, which obviously in a drag car, you're just gonna go straight. So that's not much of an issue that we're gonna have. But for getting into the lanes and everything, I wanna make sure that I'm having a good turn radius. And there's this whole lip that comes out over here. I painted it black as well. But this lip, I bent it forward. It actually used to come up to like right there. And I did like a little cut on this side with the die grinder. And then I was able to hammer it in so it stays flush. And then I painted it black just so it doesn't look ugly or doesn't rust or nothing. So I cut over there. The bumper, I'm gonna have to trim a little bit. If you see right here, I still have the OEM back. So I'm gonna have to trim it a little bit more because it hits on this area, but I still won't have the kind of aggressive look. Then the wheel itself was hitting on the spindle arm. I think that's what it's called. This part right here. It was hitting a little bit on the bottom part. Like if you're thinking of the inner lip of this, it's hitting on, let's say, this part, which this is a 13 by 10. VMS says that they're supposed to be bolting without any issues for Integra. I'm not exactly why I was having that issue. I contacted them. They said, thank you for letting us know and everything. I'm not looking to get anything out of it. I was just wanting to show people. Then if you see on the back, I don't have just a rotor. I have a spacer right now. And this is just a regular universal 4-lug spacer that I got from AutoZone. So I'm gonna be throwing the other one on the other side. And after having put the spacer on, I jack the car up and the wheel spins very freely. So that's another issue that's out of the way. So yeah. So we've got Alfonso, he just came through. We're over here. I just drilled a couple holes right here in between the N and the D of Sende Papi because this battery cutoff switch doesn't stay on. It actually comes off, but I don't want it getting lost. So I got this little wiring at Lowe's, and it has some like cover, like little vinyl cover, whatever you want to call it. I'll probably paint it black because I don't like the look of it. But we drilled some holes right there, and then this already had a hole, so we're able to securely have it stay on. So battery on, battery off, and that's not going anywhere. All right, so we're over here on the driver's side. This is the pinch that hits the slick when we turn the wheel fully. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cut it right here with the die grinder or angle grinder, whatever it's called. I'm not gonna cut all the way through, I'm just gonna cut the surface of it so it's like easy to bend. And then from this side out, we're gonna hammer it out just like we did on the other side. Because I don't wanna cut it all the way and then have a gap between the firewall and the front of the car. I'm not sure if that's technically the firewall, but it separates the cabin from the wheel well and everything. So we're just gonna cut it a little bit so we can cleanly separate it and push it so it still has sealing of the cabin. All right, so now I have all that nice and clean. We were able to grind it down with the sanding disc as well. And I just did a little bit of coat of black so it doesn't rust or anything. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pull this axle out because it was giving me a little bit of a binding issue when I was on my radials the other day leaving the shop. So I don't know if the axle's starting to go bad or maybe it's just not seated all the way or something. Just wanna inspect it real quick, and if anything, I have lifetime warranty on them anyways. So I'm gonna pull that out, then I'll put the spacer on and then remeasure everything on with the slicks to make sure nothing's rubbing on the spindle anymore. All right, so I have just basically mocked up how I want the side skirt to sit. You're supposed to like have the quarter panel basically continue a line to the bottom of the side skirt, and that's how I have it right here. Come to find out, I actually bought the EK ones. He said that it was the DC ones, but he made a mistake. I understand stuff happens, but I'm not about to drive all the way back to Orlando, almost 2 hours to where he is, just to get some different side skirts. So he said that he would basically just cut them if it was him. So I guess I'm gonna be cutting my side skirts now. I'm kind of trying to mock up my fender right now. If you look at the side skirt, the one that corresponds to your body type has a little slot right here for your fender to sit into it where it needs to be. Obviously, it doesn't have the correct length for DC, so I think I'm gonna have to end up cutting back to about right here, the whole side skirt, and then notch it in a little bit more. I'm not too happy about it, to be honest with you, but I'm not super upset. It is just sheet metal that makes up the side skirt. I still think that the car is going to look a lot better and might even perform a little bit better. It's kind of controversial, the side skirts, but it'll definitely go with the aero front look of the lowered bumper that it is now. So either way, I'm going to do it right now. I think I'll just kind of mock it up and cut little by little and then go from there. All right, so I just had my second hands over here, Fire Z, helping me out. He just held it down while I was able to cut it. And it's kind of a rough cut, like I mentioned earlier. It's nothing crazy clean. I'm gonna take the side skirt off, put the fender on, and then actually make sure that everything fits well.
Hey bud, what you watching?
Some old SP tuning videos.
Ooh. Yeah, he's not feeling into it right now, so he's gotta remotivate him. So, remember what it used to be like.
This video, the one that you guys are watching right now, has been over the time of like 3 days already. I'm feeling super unmotivated this week, dude. I've got like, what, 11 days to prep for HDay? Today is the 2nd, is it? Something like that? I don't know. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm super unmotivated though.
It's called burnout.
Burnout? I would love to do a burnout right now. My God, dude. This was Built Slowintegra first startup, the video. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Check it out. Throwback, dude. You know what I think we need?
What?
Take a guess. We need a red Rockstar. Down for a gas station run?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get motivated, guys. Juke bait. What up, Yost? It's raining out. Burnout lube. It's probably a really bad idea with that cop right there.
Send it.
Oh, snap! Rear wheel drive is fun.
This dude really just laid a fat one in front of a. Oh my god.
Where's that cop at now? Oh, that was fun. Nothing like some dry or some drift lube, burnout lube. Fun with rock stars.
We haven't got the Rockstars yet.
We're on our way to get the rock stars. Woo! You want one?
Cut.
I don't care who you are. If you say that cubed is better than crushed, you're wrong. Crushed is the best. That's that good ice, bro. Oh gosh.
Pulls out here.
Yo, if anybody drinks cube, they can unsubscribe. Ain't nothing better than crushed ice and some Rockstar.
I don't like energy drinks.
Oh, snap.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You know, I really don't like the EFs, but that is decently in good shape for the age.